I didn't like what you said, Odin pauses, about the future. This is the love story of real Hinge couple Odin and Edward, written and read by me, Curtis Garner. Listen to the free audiobook now.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. And today I thought we would go through some more of the Q&A questions. So if you haven't listened to this week's midweek mini pod, I explained it there, but I'll do it quickly again. But basically, I did a Q&A, or actually I don't know if it's out yet. Or no, it would have just gone out. But anyway, I've done a Q&A on my YouTube channel and I got asked so many questions from you guys, literally thousands. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to answer them all. But I thought, because I'm pre-recording today's podcast episode, because when this goes live, I will be in Aachen, Germany for the FEI World Championship. So go and check out my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to there, to see some incredible horse sport. But I thought we would go through some more of the questions because there definitely were loads left over. So I thought, I thought we'd go do them in like a kind of random order. For the actual Q&A, I kind of selected them a little bit more. But today, I'm literally going to close my eyes, go boop, 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 boop. Go on the question. But anyway, before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, and they also ship all over the world. And guys, I know it's still very warm outside and it's summer, but do you know what's next? Autumn, and it won't be long, and I feel like it's going to hit us all like a truck because we've been used to the heat wave, but guys, it won't be long until there's rain, until it's cold, until it's windy. So if you want to get all of your autumn winter essentials, then maybe you need a new pair of Wellington boots because yours have a hole in. Maybe you need a new pair of riding boots because your riding boots have a hole in, and then you're going to get a sneaky surprise when you stand in a puddle when it eventually rains again. Do you know where you can get all of your new autumn winter essentials? Red Post Equestrian. So go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk or .com for my USA fans. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. So I thought, I don't know, I just really enjoy doing sort of Q&A questions as well, because it feels like, I mean, all of the podcasts are very much kind of friend on FaceTime kind of vibes, chatting along, but I do enjoy kind of how I don't know, a little bit more relaxed. If you missed the the midweek mini pod, then we had some very unusual ones. So maybe I've saved the weird and wonderful ones for the podcast. You never know. So this one is from my.native.ponies, and it's quite a deep one as well. There's quite a lot of deep ones in the Q&A that I did, but this one says, what is your favourite and least favourite thing about being a content creator? So we're going to go favourite first, because obviously there is so much to be grateful for. I would say that my favourite, there's quite a lot, so I'll do my my top three. My first one would be getting to spend so much time with horses and being able to have the horses as well, because if it wasn't for you guys and if I wasn't like an equine content creator, I definitely would not have the time or money to be able to have the amount of horses that I do. So definitely that, and having the freedom of running your own business as well. So if there is like a family emergency or something, I can take the day off work because I am my own boss and I can be there for the people that I love. So that is a very big thing for me. And yeah, spending time outside as well. Like, I'm very much like an outside kind of person. And I really enjoy how my job is like creative, but also I do all the sporty stuff with the horses as well that's outside. So there's a lot to be very, very grateful for. And also all of the incredible opportunities that I've been given, the incredible riders that I've been able to train with and meet and interview, the amazing horse shows and places that it's taken me. So I don't want at all to sound like I'm complaining for the next part, or it's my least favourite thing. I say my least favourite thing is probably the same thing as like running your own business. If you don't have good time management skills, then I think you will find it difficult in the sense of burnout. There's no kind of like, oh, it's 5 p.m, you need to go home now. If you haven't done the job, you need to carry on doing the job. So switching off, I would say, is probably like a more difficult thing, but that's just, you know, being your own boss. So I try nowadays, I kind of have got myself into a routine. If I am burning out, I kind of know. The other thing that I would say, being a content creator, which is less to do with being your own job, but more being doing the actual job, is people having a preconceived idea of you. I think with social media, and this goes with every single person you see on the internet, you show part of your life, but you don't show all of your life, in the sense where I don't have a 24-hour live stream of my life going on. So and I think that's I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but people will come up with assumptions about things, rumors will be spread about you. Oh my gosh, I could literally do like a whole video probably just going through rumors and false pieces of information that people have spread about me on the internet. So I would say, yeah, people having a preconceived idea, especially if they maybe only seen like a few minute clips of you, then they'll be like, oh, I don't like her because of XYZ, and they maybe don't know the whole story or don't know my whole personality, which, hey, I get it. Where everybody's different. Sometimes, this is such a British saying, but sometimes you just might not be somebody's cup of tea. Everybody likes their tea made differently, you know, and I totally get that. But some people, just because my job is a content creator, or people like to call me an influencer, which you guys know is not my favorite term, but a lot of people already have an idea about you just by saying that's your job. So which again, in the grand scheme of things, I cannot complain. Like, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and if it was that awful, I would definitely not do it. But I think, yeah, I would say it just makes me feel a bit weird when people like spread lies about you or rumors about you. I'm like, well, that's not true. So, or they already think something about you that's not true. So anyway, there we go. That would probably be what I would say. This one is from Ava J O Dub. Hopefully that's how your username should be read. When did you start thinking about buying a new horse? Brackets Mimi. So there were different kind of times where I was like, maybe like now would be a good time. I was like, maybe not. So obviously, we had a spare stable when Mickey sadly passed away, and not at all did I ever think, you know, okay, Mickey's gone, let's get a new horse. Like, not at all. And I think I was really conscious of that because I knew, obviously, like, sorry, this is also a very deep one, but I wanted to make sure that not only I was ready, but also the horses were ready as well. I think not many people talk about grief within horses, because Mickey was like their best friend. They were out in the paddock together, they were next to each other in their stables, like that kind of thing. So for me, I wanted to make sure that all of the horses were kind of ready for another horse to enter the stables. And for a little while, I didn't even think I was going to get another horse. Like, that wasn't kind of like on my mind at all. I would say, I think it was the autumn of 2025, autumn winter, when Joey had to go back to the vets and have a full MOT, and he was lame and he wasn't quite right, and that's when we realised that he needed his stifles injecting. I think around then I kind of thought maybe, like, if I have the time and the financials and everything lines up, maybe another horse would be a good idea, just to put less pressure on Joey, because obviously with my job I do need to have kind of a ridden horse. So I was kind of thinking about it then, but like, it just didn't seem like the right time. I was like, I don't know, I didn't want to feel like I was getting a horse to replace Joey then either. So I was like, you know what, and we're going into winter as well, which is like a horrible time to have horses, because like the mud and it's cold, and it wasn't quite the right time for me. So I thought, you know what, and also I just got Fossey as well. You've got to remember, I just got Fossey. So I kind of had my hands full with a puppy, and I obviously wanted to make sure that I had all the time and attention to give to him. So that's another reason why I was like, not quite the right time. I also had a book tour as well for book 4. So I was kind of away most weekends doing my book tour. So I kind of was like, now's not a really great time to start a whole new partnership with a new horse. So I decided, you know what, let's see how Joey goes with his stifle injections. And actually, he was really good after that. Back in business, back in action. And then, so I kind of I was like, okay, like 3 horses, busy enough, that kind of thing. And then it was kind of the beginning of beginning of this year, basically. It was in the January, and Joey wasn't quite right again. I think he needed his stifles re-injected. Or maybe it wasn't even autumn. Maybe it was last summer that he had his stifles re-injected. Because, it was about 9 months between first injections, second injections, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 10 months. Anyway, beginning of this year, Joey was looking not quite right again, so he needed his stifles re-injecting. Now, as you guys know, he is feeling amazing. He's so much stronger. We'll be doing lots of flat work and dressage with him. He's living his like dressage horse dreams. He's having so much fun with that. He's honestly looking the fittest he's ever looked. He's looking the strongest he's ever looked. Like, he is looking and feeling amazing now. So we are hoping that kind of the gap between him needing stifle injections will be less now that he's holding himself properly, using his muscles. He's putting less pressure on his stifles. So again, we will obviously do whatever Joey needs to make him happy and sound and all of that kind of stuff. Like, Joey's health and stuff is my top priority. But it was around then that I was like, I just kind of came to the conclusion that, like, jumping just wasn't for Joey. I was like, Joey's never going to be my show jumping horse, and I don't want to put pressure on him or make him do something that, number one, he doesn't enjoy, number two, something that his body just can't, cope with. So that's when it was when I made the switch to dressage that I was like, you know what, I would love to get another horse to do show jumping with, and also another young horse that I can kind of train and have that journey. I wasn't, number one, budget wise, didn't have the financials to like go out and buy a super schoolmaster, and didn't want something older that was a schoolmaster either. Kind of wanted something young that I could have that journey with, because I really love working with young horses. I find it very, very rewarding. And also, you guys know I've never had a schoolmaster. I've always gone first. So it was kind of January I started looking, and then it wasn't until basically April that we got Mimi. It was like end of March. So I always round it to April because we kind of brought her home and then had like a few days of not riding her. So it was basically April that I started working with her. So it was a good 4 months of looking for a horse. So there we go. That's kind of the stuff that was going through my brain. I'm pretty sure that it's all right. Trying to figure out the timelines. Okay, I think we should go for a little bit more light-hearted one next. So, okay, here we go. This is a fun one. Stacey Grapp. I want to say Grapp, says, what colours look best on each of the horses? So, I mean, they all technically have their colours because they have their feed bucket colours. So Joey's green, Casper's purple, Mimi's pink, Duke is yellow. But if we're talking like Lemure colours or like outfit colours, Mimi looks really good in bright colours. So I'm talking hot pinks, bright yellows. Like, I would say if it's like a colour that's very... or also pastel colours. They look really nice on her because it's very contrasty because she's got her really dark glossy coat. So I think pastel colours look really nice on her. I think basically I'm just going to say baby pink. The new fondant is one of my favourites. I say new, it was from spring summer 2026. So I'm going to say fondant looks best on her because you can't go wrong with the baby pink for her. She also looks very good in baby blue. But also the bright colours too, like a bright red. Oh my gosh, she looks so good in bright red. This is too mean. This is too difficult. I can't just pick one, but I'm going to say fondant for her. Joey, I think he looks really nice in like jewel toned colours. So I'm talking like a royal blue, a burgundy looks really smart on a dapple grey. And also I would say that he looks really nice. I mean, blues on greys, that's like classic colour combo. Can't go wrong. But I think a dark green, so I'm gonna say the spruce that Lemure did a little while ago, I think that dark green in the Loire pad looks so smart and classy on him, so I'm gonna say that. And also green is kind of Joey's colour as well. Casper, I think obviously he's a grey, a white grey rather than a dapple grey. He's like a basic grey. Anyway, I would say blue on him looks so good. Purple, obviously, that's his colour. But I'm going to say Benetton blue, or, yeah, Dad agrees. Davide agrees. Or I would say like the cornflower blue. No, the cornflower blue that I did the collection with Lemure in. That colour looks so good on him. And then Duke, obviously, I don't really dress him up in many colours because obviously he's not ridden, so he doesn't have a saddle or anything. His colour is yellow, and I do think yellow does look very cute on him. It definitely suits his personality because he's kind of like bubbly and cheeky and that kind of thing. But I'm probably going to say similar colours, like the cornflower blue also looks very nice on him because he's kind of like the same colour as the others. But I'm probably going to say the baby yellow that they did recently, which is...
I didn't like what you said, Odin pauses, about the future. This is the love story of real Hinge couple Odin and Edward, written and read by me, Curtis Garner. Listen to the free audiobook now.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
Not margarita. Mimosa. There we go. I knew it was just a drink. Win for Davide. I think it's because it's guys. I've done like a lot of chatting recently because the other day I've done like this in the last 2 days. I've done last week's podcast, this week's podcast, and a Q&A. So I feel like my mouth and my brain has chatted out. Oh, and then I did the Longines live stream as well. So like I feel like the last 2-3 days I've been like non-stop chitter chatter. So Davide, you beat me there. It's also very, very hot and I haven't had my afternoon nap. I literally like a child. Well, I've been waking up really early to ride the horses before it's too hot. So I kind of... Anyway, so Alana, the cattle girl, says, what is your favourite thing to do in your free time that doesn't involve the horses? So I think it's really important to be a well-rounded person and have lots of different hobbies, do lots of different things, because especially, like, this sounds really horrible, but if things aren't going right or going well with horses, which, to be frank, happens quite a lot, you know, like when Joey was, you know, if you have a confidence knock or your horse is injured and having time out, I think it's nice to have something else to do as well that kind of is fun. Does that make sense? So I really enjoy doing my scrapbooking. Each week I do like a little scrapbook of what I've got up to, and I kind of write things that I've been grateful for, if that's spending time with family and friends or, you know, doing really cool stuff with work. So that is a big thing for me. I also really like reading as well. I am a Kindle girly, so I do like to read as well. That's a nice thing to do that's not on a screen, because I try to reduce my screen time when I'm at the cottage, especially as I spend a lot of time on the screen at work. What else do I really like doing? I like gardening. Oh my gosh, gardening is so satisfying, guys. If you love like cleaning, tidying, that kind of thing, like gardening is for you, because you're basically just like tidying in your garden, and it's so satisfying to like a before and after you've weeded a flower bed. I know that sounds like so boring, but like listening to a good audiobook while gardening is like such like a peaceful thing to do in the evenings. I haven't done too much recently because it's just been too hot. Like it has been baking hot, so I've been more kind of lying on my sun lounger reading rather than gardening and getting hot and sweaty. I also am a gym girly as well. I really enjoy going to my gym and trying new like gym classes. I find whenever I'm like a little bit unmotivated to go to the gym, booking in a gym class is great, because you know, like some days where you just want to switch your brain off but you want to move your body. That's why I really enjoy the gym classes, because I don't have to think about like how many reps I'm doing, what am I going to do on the like different machines and things. I've definitely learned in the last year that I am like a border collie and I need to do lots of exercise to stay happy, so that really helps me as well. I enjoy like doing the Pilates classes and the High Rocks classes, so if you're looking for a sign to try something new, there we go. I also really enjoy swimming as well. Like if there's ever a body of water, like a lake or a river, and it's safe to swim in, get me in there. Like if I go to the sea, I'm going for a swim in the sea. In my car, I literally always pack like an emergency swimming costume and towel, just in case there is any opportunity where I get to swim. Like I love swimming. What other I've been doing a little bit of golf recently as well. That's been quite fun. I've been trying that, and I tell you what, it reminds me of dressage in the sense where it's just like getting like a little bit better and better each time, like trying to get that swing. It's a bit like trying to get your good riding position, your good jumping position. So I've been finding that really satisfying. It's one of those things where when it goes well, it's so satisfying, but it can be very frustrating at the same time. So I don't know, I'm the sort of person where if there is a hobby or an activity to do, throw it at me. I love to try new things. So they're all the kind of things that I do at the moment. So definitely I try my best to do lots of fun things outside of horses and social media, because that can be quite consuming of my whole life. So, and just hanging out with friends, you know, seeing my friends. That's not really a hobby, but I enjoy doing that outside of work. So there we go. All right, the next question is from that_horse girly. love the username. Who was your biggest influence / inspiration in the horse world growing up? P.S. Love watching your videos. Oh, thank you. So, goodness. For me, like, this is going to sound really weird, but you've got to remember, if we're talking like young Esme, like preteen Esme, social media wasn't really a thing until I became a teenager, or until I was like maybe 11, 12. So if I'm talking like primary school age, I would honestly say like my biggest inspiration was probably going to like Pony Club camp and seeing the girls that were older than me and like the classes above me. They were probably my biggest inspiration, because I remember doing junior camp, and there was a day where I think a lot of the seniors were at junior camp using the facilities, but they were doing like a cross-country eventing training or that kind of thing, and we were on the cross-country course at the same time as them, and they were all like teenagers on like 14-2 up horses and ponies. And I remember like looking at them and being like, wow, they're doing all the like 90 centimeter jumps. They're so big. I remember there being this really big like tire fence, and I do have a picture of me and Casper going over that. But I remember when I was really young on Mickey, seeing them all go over this like big tire fence, and I remember being like, wow, one day if I'm a good enough rider to jump over the tire fence, I'm gonna be so proud of myself. Now that jump was probably I remember somebody saying, oh no, it wasn't even in the 80 centimeters course, it was only 70 centimeters. But I remember seeing those tyre fences and thinking they were absolutely huge. Davide's nodding. He can remember from those days at Pony Club camp where he was the dad that always wore, he was clever. He always wore wellies to Pony Club camp because he knew that there would be some poor child, normally myself, that would need to be led into the water because their horse would refuse to walk into it. So anyway, so I would probably say the older girls at my pony club were probably my biggest inspiration, because obviously there were, Olympians and things that I would look up to and watch on TV and stuff, but there wasn't really horse YouTube. There wasn't really there wasn't much horses on the telly. We would go Saddle Club, yeah, but they're not real people. But I used to love watching the Saddle Club, so probably the Saddle Club girls. But I would say for me, looking up at Olympians and things like that, it was just never accessible. And I think that's the joy of equestrian social media. Not everybody can make it to the Olympics, but you can dream of maybe having lessons at a riding school, or having a lease pony, or maybe even having your own pony one day. That is just a little bit more attainable. So I would say for me, yeah, the girls at my pony club. And then when I was older, I did watch, YouTube and things, but there wasn't really equestrian YouTube. YouTube was definitely more of a niche kind of thing. There was a lot of YouTubers that I look up to, that I watch, that I really enjoyed their content. So people my age will know this girl, but Zoe Sugg, or Zoella, I used to absolutely love watching her vlogs. So I would say her, YouTube wise, is who I really looked up to when I was younger. But I never ever, a lot of people ask me when did you first want to become an equestrian influencer or content creator or whatever, which honestly I never had that dream. It just kind of happened, more in the sense where I never dared myself to make that my dream, because I just didn't think it was possible. Nobody else had ever done social media in the horse world as their full-time job. Obviously there were other creators that did more lifestyle and beauty stuff, but I never thought I would ever financially be able to make it a worthwhile career or job. But also I never thought there'd be enough people that would, number one, want to watch my videos, and number two, I didn't think there'd be enough people in the horse world that would watch social media content. So for me, I never let myself have that dream until it actually came true, if that makes sense. I just enjoyed the process, really enjoyed the editing process, and enjoyed the creativity of it, and I did it for a good like 3 years before I was paid a bean by YouTube. So I think that goes to show how much I love what I do, because I never thought like success would come for it. I never thought like money would come for it or anything like that. So there we go. Yeah, so I guess in the horse world, yeah, Girls on My Pony Club. Jay Wills asks, will Mimi go eventing one day once she's strong and balanced enough, or will she only be doing show jumping? Now, I never want to say never, you know. In my heart, I am a show jumper, and I prefer show jumping over eventing. Oh my gosh, the eventing people, please don't shout at me. Mainly because where we're based, there are so many incredible kind of show jumping, BSJA show venues, so it seems like the discipline that makes more sense for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I think eventing would be really fun, and I think it would be really fun to do with Mimi, but I am the sort of person where I'm a little paranoid. I much prefer a surface over grass, and recently with the ground being so dry, like there just aren't many events near us, and if I was to do eventing, I'd probably have to drive like 4 hours to get to them. Also, the joy of show jumping is, guys, if you mess up one week, there's going to be a show next week that you can go to and redeem yourself. With eventing, a lot of the events are only at weekends, and for me, weekdays are better, especially as a lot of weekends I'm working at horse shows doing like my presenting and things like that. So I think if I did do eventing, I would literally just never event, because there wouldn't be many near me, and I would be working at different shows on my weekends. So, and also it's only for I know that it's mainly for the summer, and that's when I'm really busy with work things, so like show jumping just makes more sense. Also, like, I've never actually done an event before. I've obviously done loads of cross country, loads of dressage, loads of show jumping, but I've never actually done an event competition before. There was one that I was going to do, but it got cancelled because of the hard ground, but that I was going to actually enter Mimi into. I would quite like to do some, you know, cross country schooling with her before entering that event. Well, that was the plan. So I think it would be really fun to do maybe some unaffiliated eventing. If there's some like local to us, that would be fun to go to. I don't know, we will see. I think she would make a cracking eventer because she's very brave and very bold. I obviously haven't taken her cross-country schooling yet, but I think she would be fine, like, just temperament-wise. So I need to test her with water and ditches and maybe some banks as well. So we will see. I cannot confirm nor deny. But show jumping is more in my heart. I love show jumping. It's my favourite. Obviously, a lot of people have asked me this because obviously I do dressage with Joey, and I really enjoy my dressage too. And I think it'll be really fun to take Mimi to some unaffiliated dressage, just to see what she would be like between some whiteboards. I don't think she's ever done dressage before, so it would be funny if she thinks they're show jumps and decides to jump over the boards, and then we get eliminated for exiting the arena. I don't know, that could be kind of fun. But maybe not the getting eliminated part, but I think it would be nice to take her. But I think, like, my main goals of Mimi is just to have fun. And if that's doing lots of different things, then I think that's great. And I think, you know, doing cross-country schooling with your show jumpers is great to get them a little bit more bold, especially as you never know, there might be some like fun fillers that a show venue decides to put in, or water trays or that kind of thing. So I definitely would love to do some cross-country schooling with her in the autumn, but I don't think we'll ever do British eventing. I just don't think that's going to work with everything that I do. So, but show jumping, that is in my heart. Love a good jump off as well. So anyway, that is the plan. So this one is from Rainbow Love, and they say, I am wanting to be a groom in the future. Do you have any tips on how I can make that a reality? Love your videos and have an amazing day, with a red love heart. Oh, thank you. I hope you guys have an amazing day too. So this one, I'm going to like give my best advice that I can give. Obviously, technically, I am not a groom, but I do have multiple friends who are grooms, and each person that I know that is a groom has gone down a different route. So one thing that I would say is, whatever job that you want to do in the future, if it involves exams or not, I would always say do well at school, work really hard, do your homework, get your exams, because if you want to be a groom one day and maybe you have an injury or you can't do it for whatever reason, you have those results as a backup if you do need to get a job in a different industry. So that's one thing that I would say with whatever you want to do in life. Make sure you have, obviously all schools across different countries is different, but get your exam results And I would say pick, if it doesn't matter what subjects you do to do with being a groom or whatever, do things that you love and that you're good at. That is my best advice. And then I would say, so I have a few friends that actually went to equine college. The way that it works in the UK is at 16 you finish high school, and then you have 2 years where you're like 17, 18 where you do college. I know that's very different compared to like the American school system. So there are quite a lot of different equine colleges around the UK where when you're 16 you can go to equine college. So that is obviously a good route to go down, because then you have qualifications afterwards. I also have a lot of friends, one of my friends who's a groom, she did things a little bit differently. She's had lots of different jobs, had lots of different sort of careers, but then decided, you know what, I want to be a groom. And I'm pretty sure she has done a what's it called, an apprenticeship, there we go, where you work for like, you would work for example, she works for an event rider. So she works for an event rider, but also while she's working for them, she also gets a qualification at the same time. And I would say an apprenticeship is probably a really good route to go down, because not only are you getting great hands-on experience actually doing the job, but you'll also have somebody that can write you a reference afterwards. So if after the apprenticeship they maybe can't afford you anymore, because of, you know, when you're an apprentice, I'm pretty sure you get paid a little bit less, or whatever reason you maybe decide you want to move like cities or counties, or you want to go in a different industry, maybe you want to go to a dressage yard instead or whatever, you can have somebody that can write you a reference. So, you know, work hard, do a good job. I would definitely say if you are going to go down the apprenticeship route, make sure you do work really hard, go above and beyond, and just, yeah, be amazing. If there's a job that needs to be done and you haven't asked to do it, just go and do the job. You know, having that initiative to do things that need to be done and not have to be asked, that is something that a lot of people that own yards are looking for. So yeah, I would say that is probably a definitely recommended route. And there's also lots of different types of grooms that you can be. Like, you could be a groom for a top level show jumper and travel the world with them, or you could have your own small business where you work at private yards. One of my friends actually did that, and she absolutely loved her job until, unfortunately, for medical reasons, she wasn't able to do that job anymore. So she has an office job, but she loved that job. And what she did was she had a van and she would go round to different horse yards. She also did a lot of cover when people would go on holidays, and she would like house sit, and that was actually really good money as well. So she really enjoyed being on smaller private yards where she got to know the horses really well too. So that's also another route that you can go down if you would rather work with like less big scary show jumping horses and stallions and that kind of thing, if you'd rather work with kind of like ponies and small family farms and that kind of thing. So there's lots of different routes that you can go down, and also there's lots of different kind of opportunities within the horse world that isn't just being a groom. So there's being a farrier, there's being a saddle fitter, there's being an equine dentist, there's being an equine physiotherapist. There are so many different routes that you can go down within the equestrian world too. I think that's most of my bases that I have covered. But basically, work really hard, do a good job, go out there and have fun. And if, you know, grooming is for you, then that is great, because we all have horses. So anyway, on that note, I think I am probably going to finish up today's podcast episode there. I really hope you enjoyed going through some questions. There are still so many that I was unfortunately not able to answer, so maybe in a few months' time we'll do another Q&A. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to finish off today's... I've probably said that twice, haven't I? Oh my gosh. I'm really tired. I've been like I'm in that phase where like, I'm literally going off to Aachen in like 2 days, and I have to do twice as many podcasts, twice as many YouTube videos, twice as many like content for shorts and things before I go away, because while I'm away I'm going to be making content, but it's got to be all scheduled, ready to go. So I'm in the like manic, I'm going away, I need to pack, cannot forget anything kind of mode at the moment. But anyway, thank you so much to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk. Get your lovely autumn winter stuff ready for the next season. But anyway, I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all on Wednesday for a midweek mini pod, which hopefully that'll that'll be when I'm back from Arkan. So maybe it'll be some Arkan. I'll have to update you all on my Arkan adventures. But anyway, I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Saying how you feel out loud is terrifying, but that's what Hinge's new free audiobook, No Ordinary Love, is all about. It's a collection of real love stories about 5 couples that met on Hinge. The stories are written and read by Tembi Dinton-Hurst, Nicola Dinan, Curtis Garner, Raven Smith, and Ruthie Thorpe. I, Hunter Harris, wrote and read the foreword. The audiobook's out now. Give it a listen.
Class is now in session, and the UPS Store is here to help you ace arriving on campus. Our certified packing experts can pack everything you need, from desktops to decor. Plus, when you pack and ship with us, you get our exclusive pack and ship guarantee. Your items arrive safe or your money back. Restrictions and limitations apply. To get a 20% off packing coupon and for full details, visit theupsstore.com/packing.